Hey, Dan, we're live. Guys, I'm in such a good gaming spot right now. So many good games. So many good games. So little time. I don't know about that. The Nerd Chat
is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy D. Wally here, and welcome to the Nerd Chat, a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. We're also celebrating the upgrades to that Leon with DLSS5. I don't know if you guys saw that thumbnail that Jose made. It is incredible. I see a lot of questionable comments in the chat already about the DLSS5 improvements to Leon, but everybody go check that out. So, by the way, I don't really like DLSS. I'm switching to AMD GPU. I'm over it. I'm over the NVIDIA slop. I'm over the NVIDIA domination.
Hey, Dan.
Monopoly, somehow the most valuable company in the world. I'm over it.
Hey, Dan.
Jensen.
They all use...
I'm switching to AMD. This is what we need. We'll get to this later. Joining me as always is not Chipotle Bear. He's going to be here. He's running a little late. He's doing administration crap. I don't know what he's doing. He's not here. He'll be here in a little bit. Exactly. But not super producer number 2 in charge. Wish us luck. My Broncos are so back. X-Bacon Gaming.
That's true. They've sitting around all off season. They haven't done anything. Just re-signed their own guys, and then they go make the biggest trade in the NFL this year. And they are so back. They are already the heavy favorites.
Shout out
the AFC.
Broncos picked up for all you. I know we got a lot of Broncos fans out there. Jalen Waddle from the Miami Dolphins. We got a true elite 2 receiving core now with Sutton on one end, Waddle on the other. Then we're gonna have Mims in the slot. Add Franklin in there every now and then. Bo's got some weapons.
I do have a quick PSA for everyone. If you haven't pulled your refrigerator out and cleaned the insides, like the condenser,
what does this have to do with football now, Bacon?
I'm demoing my house for new hardwood floors, and I pulled my refrigerator away from the wall, and there was so much dust and dog hair in my condenser that I'm surprised my house hasn't burned down. And then I called a firefighter friend of mine, told him to do the same. He goes, I do it every year, bro. I'm like, oh, and he's like, when's the last time you did it? I said 14 years ago when it got delivered. So pull your refrigerators out and clean before they burn your house down.
All right, Bacon, thank you for that boomer PSA. Really appreciated that. Joining us, making a return to the show, filling in for Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy is sick, but we've got a great substitute coming in right now. Please welcome back King of the Seas, Captain Logan. How are you?
Ahoy. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I can't wait to talk about the controversies. I just want to say, though, rest in peace, Bubble Boy. I feel bad that I'm stepping in as a result of you being sick, but I hope that you feel better and stop licking the doorknobs at school.
Ooh.
That would be
that bathroom he uses at school.
You think it probably is the bathroom. Wash your hands. There's a non-boomer tip. Wash your hands after using bathroom.
That is a pro strat coming from
also how you avoid pink eye.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I have a quick story. My government teacher in high school, his name was Mr. Peralt. Shout out. I hope he's still alive. No, he was so OCD. Like, he would come in the morning. One time I had to make up for a test or something, and he would measure with the measuring tape distance between desks, make sure everything was aligned. His desk was perfect like mine, Logan, last night when I sent you that picture, my barren desk.
Oh my God.
Okay. And he was so anal about washing his hands. He's like, guys, I haven't gotten sick in 30 years. And you know why? I wash my hands like 15 times a day, and I don't touch anything, and I don't touch my face, and I'm always washing my hands. So Logan's onto something. I do the same thing. I don't wash them as obsessively as Mr. Peralt. But Logan is based. Everybody wash your hands and don't touch your face.
I wash my hands a normal amount, and I haven't missed a day of work in like 8 years. So
I feel like this is all stuff that everyone for the last
think,
like 5 years
you
should know by now.
You would think, Logan.
This is common knowledge after 2020.
But when you have kids, sometimes you can't fight it. All right, Bacon, let's get into the Xbox gaming or just gaming news for the week, Bacon.
News team, assemble!
I knew you were going to call for that.
News story number 1. Unhinged DLSS5 demo is out. And this is coming straight from the NVIDIA DLSS GeForce blog on their website. NVIDIA DLSS5 delivers AI-powered breakthrough in visual fidelity for games. NVIDIA today unveiled the NVIDIA DLSS5, the company's most significant breakthrough in computer graphics since the debut of real-time ray tracing in 2018. DLSS5 introduces a real-time neural rendering model that infuses pixels with photoreal lighting and materials, bridging the divide between rendering and reality. DLSS5 empowers game developers to deliver a new level of photoreal computer graphics previously only achieved in Hollywood visual effects. Oh my God. 25 years after NVIDIA invented the programmable shader, we are reinventing computer graphics once again, said Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA. I have my eye on you, Jensen.
Why do you say his name like that?
Yeah, that's
DLSS5 is the GPT moment for graphics, blending handcrafted rendering with generative AI to deliver a dramatic leap in visual realism while preserving the control artists need for creative expressions. Guys, everybody go look up the blog. I know everybody's seen the memes. Incredible. We've gotten some of the best memes in decades from this DLSS5 being off or on. Again, check out the thumbnail. Incredible work. I'm telling you, the DLSS5 version of Leon looks better than the native DLSS off version on our thumbnail of Leon. It's, guys, when I first saw this, I did not like it. Okay. And I'm one of the few people, and I think Logan mentioned this or someone was talking about this. I can't remember. I'm not opposed to AI. I use it as a tool daily to help me out on things, as a tool. But when I see some of these images and I'm dragging over and I'm seeing the difference, I do not like this uncanny valley look that I'm seeing. So Bacon, actually, no. I already know Bacon's a DLSS NVIDIA fanboy, so I'm going to say Bacon. Logan, come in here with a based reaction to the DLSS5 controversy.
a based reaction. Okay. What I will say is that when I first saw this, I thought that some of the things that we saw, and granted, the first video only had like a couple snippets, and they were like, here's one image and then a pan to show you what it looks like with DLSS5. And it was jarring in some cases and okay in others. But when I went and actually watched like the Digital Foundry video of this, there were scenes in games that I was like, I actually like the way that this is being represented. I think I would have enjoyed Starfield with the different lighting and the different, different look. I think it looked a little less claymation to me. So when I saw like the outrage, I was kind of taken. I was like, wow, there's a lot of people that really, really don't like this. And I was like, well, it's an option. It's an option that people can have right now. And I think that it's going to be on the developers to determine how they want to implement another tool in their box, because just like with other forms of AI that I typically use that are not, they're like, granted that it's not like the generative AI art. It's like I need to dig into this article and I need to get a quick notes summary of it, or I need to look up stuff that just isn't easily accessible without having to find like 18 articles.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just one of those things where I'm like, this doesn't look good for a lot of people right now, but I think over time, this will be one of those things that if people want to use it, just like the way, they use other things, they'll look and see where it applies and where it works for them. I don't think that this needs to replace every single like art design that companies can use for their games. I think this is going to be a very niche kind of thing, just in the same way I don't think that every company needs to switch over to Unreal Engine to make a really good game. They can make their own engine. They can make their own thing. They can make their games look however they want. This is just what one company is offering. And while I don't necessarily like the generative AI aspect of it, because I think that does kind of like takes what the artist did and kind of shifts it away from what they did. The onus is going to be on the developers to determine how they want their game to look. If they don't want to use it, they don't have to use it. It's not like NVIDIA's forcing them.
Yep.
Yet.
Can't-
Or
how can they
forcing
force
us
them?
to stream to our GPUs that we're not going to be able to afford, and we're just going to have to stream games and be forced to use DLSS technology in the future. Guys, just look at the Requiem one of Grace.
I think it looks
First
great.
two. The one of her in the rain, right? That face looks nothing like the second face. Like, that's what I'm even more mad about now looking at this. They don't even look like the same image of the same person when the DLSS, one in the shadow, one in the light.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing? And Bacon, you think it looks great? I can't even. I agree. Starfield, maybe, Logan, maybe.
You didn't feel like the faces on Starfield just looked really flat?
They do look weird, but I was
so
listening to Trophy Room last night, and Light
dead
brought up a
eyes.
good point that's what people like. Some people like the janky artwork and art style of
I agree.
Bethesda games.
That's their choice. Like, who's serving my choice to not look at flat
The
face
creators
McGee?
of the game want you to look at the way they created it, not putting this filter on it to make it more lifelike. And that's the other point I wanted to ask. Do we want games to look photorealistic, or do we want games to look like games? Because I always thought that I wanted games to be photorealistic. But now I'm like, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want it to look like a game, because I know I'm playing a game and I know that it will never look like real life. Like, do we want games to look like real life? I don't think about that for a second. I want to get this chat in here. Timper says, I used AI at work every day, and I didn't even like this. Even without the faces, the color and saturation looks like when you have your TV in vivid mode with motion smoothing, base temper. The
So much
lighting was
brighter.
actually what I hated immediately.
What?
Gentle Stone, if they train models per game, taking the 3D models and textures, aka local AI, then maybe if used with discretion by artists. Emotionless Taco, he's probably got like a 5090 or something. I turned DLSS off. Games work fine without it. Freight's like, I never do it either. De Niro says anything tied to AI will be met with immediate hate.
Yep.
Diego,
Based.
the problem is what they put out and saying how great it looks. True. Gentle Stone said, we complain that games take too long, so let's give them something else to do for the 0.05% of people who can use it. Nah, I'll take cheaper video cards, please. Eric said Starfield, but everywhere in the universe has an influencer ring light blasting it. Exactly, dude. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm all about developers having more tools, like Logan said, to use at their discretion. But I don't. Bacon, tell me why before I throw it. Why do you liked some of these? Like, I don't even.
I'm just trying to figure out why an optional technology that you can choose to have on or off is
Because
causing so much consternation.
I'll tell you, because I don't think it's going to be optional.
Why
I'm
would it
afraid that's
optional right now? It's not
is-
in every game. I get mad when a game doesn't have DLSS.
I'm afraid. Welcome to the show. Chipotle Bear just joined us. I'm afraid that NVIDIA has gotten so powerful that they will somehow force this on us. We're not, like I said. Oh no, it's out.
If
He's
they
brought up
force
some
this
great
on,
points.
then you're
is
not
that
going to
everything
know.
gets more expensive. Bacon. How
Hold
are
on,
we
man.
going to afford GPUs? Then we're just going to stream these games, and if we're going to stream them, it's all going to be forced with DLSS.
So right now you're mad because you know what these games look like prior to putting DLSS5 on them, right? You've played all these games. You know what they all look like, right? You like that ugly Bethesda face.
I'm not saying I like it. I just prefer
So
what the
if
artists
if NVIDIA forces this on all of us, then this will just be the artist rendering, and we'll be none the wiser, right? If they're like, oh, everyone has used DLSS. So
my point.
any new
my point.
game coming out, you won't know, Dan, because it'll just be the new norm.
And that's not okay.
I agree. I prefer DLSS because I want higher frames. I max everything out and get higher frames, and that's why I use DLSS on everything. I get angry when a game doesn't have DLSS, but when you're telling me that NVIDIA is the only one that's using AI for upsampling, you're out of your damn mind, because both consoles do it, AMD does it, and Nintendo does it. So why are you just mad at NVIDIA instead of being mad at all consoles?
Because I don't see
everyone.
AMD. I don't see AMD doing this
FSR.
yet. I don't see them doing
it's
this
all
yet.
AI, brah.
Logan?
Go ahead, Logan, in the front.
Hi, first time, long time. Okay. I just wanted to. It's a different type of AI. I think it's a generative AI that is the main issue that people are more upset about. I think if they came out with a DLSS that didn't have this, but offered tools to lighting, and tone mapping that
didn't look like a fake ass picture on top of
wasn't this married to AI, especially with the fact that the AI bubble is causing RAM shortages, it's causing video card prices to go. If cost inflation wasn't directly related to generative AI, and now NVIDIA is coming out and saying that we are going to be integrating generative AI as a tool into our future DLSS software, I think people would have less problem with DLSS. I think it's directly related to that.
If we called it something not AI, like BI, you think people would be so mad?
I think they'd work it out.
Looking at these clips, I think the Starfield clips look substantially better. I think the FIFA clips look substantially better. I hate the Hogwarts clips.
Yeah,
I do not like the Hogwarts clips at all. But you cannot tell me that character model on that FIFA player doesn't look substantially better.
Well, let's bring in Jose here before I throw it to Jose. Some of these comments are hilarious. Freight Conductor, I like Nissa's. Yay, homogenized games. I love it. And Freight Conductor says, same with ray tracing, and I don't use that either. LOL. Yeah, I agree. I've been playing games with and without. I still can't tell when ray tracing is on or making a big difference. It's only in certain situations you can see like
Logan,
lighting reflections. That's the only candles in a room. I don't
in the
get
library in Indiana Jones.
That's exactly.
I was
I'm
talking to him.
He's like specific things. Like there are only specific examples.
It is incredible.
Other than that, Bacon, I'll be out in an open area with the fog and Silent Hill, and I can feel my computer chugging. Like, I can't do this. Like, this lighting is insane. And then Eric says, it's not that simple, Bacon. The AI is changing the frame, not improving an existing frame. Oh. And Timper said, 21 said, didn't look like a perfectly lit Netflix movie, which is absolute garbage. When they said graphics like Hollywood, I thought, oh no, they will follow. Exactly. Like even some of the Marvel games, like that Spider-Man trailer, some of that looked whack. As excited as I am for Spider-Man, I do not like some of the digital effects that we're getting out of recent Marvel movies or Star Wars or anything Disney in general recently. I feel like is trash. Frank Conductor said, to clarify, my monitor isn't good enough to show the Tracy. Fine. Jose, Bacon, I'm cutting you off. We got to get Jose just got in here. I need to hear Jose's reactions. Jose is a artist, you guys. He's been creating works of art in our thumbnails from the beginning. He has also been creating artwork that our graduating class of 2003 was using back in the day. I've only known Jose to be a true based artist all of his life. So Jose, what was your reaction to the DLSS5 on versus off?
I'll be very honest with you. I thought it looked better. Like when Bacon said it, I was like,
what the?
I was like, those are cool. But here, let me clarify a couple pieces. Let me qualify my answer. One, I already mentioned it before that I'm very fortunate and that I upgraded my graphics card not too long ago.
He's gonna try it, you guys. He's got the 5080.
So I feel very blessed that I can try some of this stuff when it comes out. I also, and this is gonna sound weird, but just bear with me for a minute. Like playing Resident Evil 9. I mean, not that I thought Grace was ugly. That would be absurd to say. But like, I didn't think she was attractive. Like, she was just a person, right? When it was the DLS5, I was like, oh, okay, that's like way cuter than I envisioned her. I don't like, and maybe I'm an idiot. Like, I'm not saying I'm not.
No, you're not.
But here's what I would also say that is interesting to me about the whole argument is, a lot of times I turn DLSS off only because it interferes with VSync. Like that actually happened to me in Resident Evil 9. If I had the DLSS on, I would see screen tearing. But as soon as I turn it off, my screen tearing went away.
Exactly. Sometimes I get screen tearing, like Jose says. Sometimes that's when I do have to turn it on.
It's my fault because, again, I game on a TV. I don't game on a traditional computer monitor that's built for this necessarily. Now, it has VSync because it's built in, but like I chalk it up to like, this is my problem. It's not NVIDIA's fault. It's not anyone else's fault. But I think it looked fine. Now, to be fair, like after my just initial shock of like, I think it looks great. It looks nice. It's cool. It's doing that. I did hear the argument that like, if I was an artist and I built something a certain way and then something changed it through AI, I would be very mad about that. I agree with that argument wholeheartedly of like artists. Diego's a great example. I'm sure there's more even in the chat. Like
Diego hates it.
You put a lot of time into truly like, I want this specific thing to look this way. I mean, there are, to your point, many of our thumbnails were like, I'm literally editing pixel by pixel in Photoshop. And not that I would be inherently opposed to someone trying to make it better. That's not, I don't think that's a fair statement. But I also would be mad if it totally jacked it up and I'd be like, I didn't ask for this. You know what I'm saying? And then, especially from a gaming standpoint, if people disliked parts of my game because something that I didn't control, that would be pretty frustrating. You know what I'm saying? But to be completely honest, I didn't think I don't think this is as newsworthy as it's eaten up the internet. The memes are funny.
It's taken over,
but
Jose.
It's crazy that this thing that is basically optional for right now. And
for a select, like, how many people are actually going to be able to use this? How many 55,000 series? Okay, besides some people in this, realistically, there's not many people who are going to be running DLSS5.
No.
So I'll meet you in the middle, Dan. I won't be mad until they force it on us, and then I'll join you at the gallows, and we'll have our pitchforks.
I'm worried.
It's an optional. The artist and the game has to choose to implement DLSS5. They have to say yes, we will allow that. If not, they'll use FSR, which I guess Eric totally owned me on that statement. That you mean to tell me you don't think the next iteration of AMD cards isn't going to follow NVIDIA's path like they always do?
I mean, AMD's never,
because they're the white knights. They're the good ones.
You said AMD never competes on the high end, so they probably never will get to this, which is fine. I always like rasterized graphics better. I've always preferred it. I don't care about ray tracing. Logan, you had your hands up. Logan, go ahead.
Well, I want to tack on to what Bacon said, because I think, until they force it, I think it's fine as an option for the tools being offered to developers. I would personally say, like, let's pull a little away from generative AI, because if you do look at a close up of like Grace when they're doing the DLSS off and on, you can tell like the geometry doesn't look quite as one-to-one, which that does kind of like mess with a little bit of like what is going on here. Because I'm fine with them generating frames. If you're taking A in C and you're building a frame for B, I'm cool with that because it's giving me a better experience. But if you're actually going to be tweaking with like the actual like art aspect of that, then that kind of like it breaks away from what the intent was when they built it out. If developers are happy that they have DLSS5 to make their games look better when they can't physically they don't have the people to make it look better or make it the way they envisioned it, then that is something that I'd be like, okay, well, if this is helping them get to the ideal that they want, then let them have that tool as an option.
Or they're working on an outdated engine that really doesn't allow these kind of graphics, right?
Go ahead, Jose.
So I have a question that maybe you guys don't even may not have the answer to. So just in a chat, if you know too, I'm curious. So I'm looking at the screenshot on our story, which is the side by side of Grace from Resident Evil.
I hate it.
If I'm the artist for Resident Evil 10, let's do that, where we may or may not see Mr. Chris Redfield again, right? And I say I want to build the best model of Chris that I can, and so I use whatever tool, Blender, whatever that lets me build it to this insane level of detail that I know most machines can't run. Does NVIDIA's software inherently help it like downgrade so it is runnable? Like, does that make sense what I'm asking? Like, in other words, if I built it for this like S tier graphics, and then the software helps me build out like an A tier, B tier, C tier based on the graphics card available, and then DLSS5 is what helps slower machines or lesser GPUs get to that tier. Does it do that, or am I just like, I'm asking? I have no clue.
I have no idea on that one.
I know from a personal experience talking to devs that some games they have to have multiple resolutions and model types to accommodate the breadth of hardware that they're going for, because they're shooting for the biggest side of the barn they can when it comes to like releasing their game. That's why we keep seeing the PS4 games still coming out, because it's the biggest market.
Absolutely.
They got to do that. So I don't think that it's something that DLSS is doing. I think that that's something that's happening on the dev side, if that's what they can afford to do or can do. But I know that in some instances, like where AI is helping is like with the Nintendo Switch 2, they just released that new boost mode.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that, but
they're in short term, they're basically saying we're tricking the Switch 2 to think that it is playing a Switch 1 game in docked mode, which means you actually have to disconnect the Joy-Con if you want to use a Pro controller, because it won't recognize if it's undocked that it's actually it's weird.
Okay,
it's so weird. But they're basically brute forcing Switch 1 games to play in docked mode. Just through the power of the system. They're not relying on the upscaling that way. But when you look at like the AI upscaled versions of like Xenoblade Chronicles, it looks terrible compared to just what the brute forced power version of the Switch 1 copy looks like. And that's where it's like, it's weird because it can help in some cases, but it doesn't always like generate the way that it should.
Love it. Got it. And for those that are listening, Eric, great comment. He said, as a game designer, you wouldn't really make models that require something like DLSS to run. You would have an idea of what your polygon budget is before you start building based off of like your processors and GPU. So that helps, Eric, too. Thank you.
Temper said the artists won't choose whether or not to use DLSS. They won't use DLSS5. The publishers will choose.
I doubt it's the publishers that would choose that.
Eric, I don't know. I kind of
highly doubt that it's.
Eric said, just because I think NVIDIA effed up doesn't mean I'm simping for AMD, LOL. And I like Gentlestone's base Gentlestone comment. It messes with the whole atmosphere and the rain scene with Grace. She goes from a timid and regretful to ready for the club. I completely agree. And they put makeup on her, said Nissa. And Diego, you and me both. Diego said, I need DLSS5 on my bathroom mirror so I can feel handsome.
All right. Well, in the chat, how many people here can take advantage of DLSS5?
Matt Valdez said, AI, please generate a photo of Dan loving Xbox again. All right, Matt.
It says processing error.
I want to end on the DLSS5 controversy with this comment. At a press Q&A event at GPU Technology Conference, our old friend Jensen took a question from Tom Hardware's Paul Alcorn about the backlash to the tech, saying that, well, first of all, they're completely wrong. DLSS5 fuses controllability of the geometry and textures and everything about the game with generative AI, Huang said. It's not post-processing. It's not post-processing at the frame level. It's generative control at the geometry level. Regardless, guys, some of us like it, some of us don't like it. I am very interested to see if this will genuinely have a real effect, Bacon, on NVIDIA GPU sales. Will we start to see, with all this backlash, with Jensen with his cocky comments over here, will this actually hurt NVIDIA's GPU dominance and switch over to AMD?
Nothing hurts that dominance. I mean, Intel's tried to get in the market. AMD's
we have to fight back against Jensen and generative AI DLSS slop.
What do they have? Like 80% of the market share?
It's crazy.
It's absurd at this point. And that's because Intel hasn't ever been in the game. I understand they're making great strides. But AMD bowed out of the high end. They left the 80 and 90 class.
Eric would
open.
disagree with you with the 90.
I know Eric would disagree.
Well, no, I don't. They're not going to make a 9000
series,
series, but they're mid to high with their cards. It's not.
He's going to champion
5080 or above, but it's close.
9070 XT within 10 frames in general raster. I've heard it from Eric 100 times, but it's clear. And he'll put the caveat, well, except for in ray tracing. I get that, Bacon. They ray trace very well over there at NVIDIA.
Overrated anyway.
Oh, that's for people who don't use ray tracing. People who turn it on every time.
Which would be a huge majority of players, Bacon.
Hey, Eric, every stock is down right now. I don't know if you've looked. We have a whole
Nvidia stock
war
has
going
dropped
on.
every day
absolutely
since the
right.
video came out.
Yeah, and so is my Microsoft stock. So is my Sony stock. They've all dropped.
What
about your
what is-
Crimson Desert one? How's your Crimson Desert stock doing?
You bought
about your-
stock in Crimson Desert?
Let me do a quick check on Robinhood. Yeah, I'm down $500 in 2 days because of a war, not because of Nvidia, Eric. But hey,
Fair
nice
enough.
try.
Bacon, what is the lowest card that can run the DLSS5? Did they say? I didn't see that. I just wasn't reading this stuff.
Oh, I'm assuming it's going to be probably the 60, maybe the
But the
70.
5060 or the
5,000
4060?
series?
No, it's all 50 series.
All 50 series. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
that's how
didn't know.
they get you to buy new GPUs.
Oh my God, my IRA is down. So
Yeah, no, hey, blame that on Nvidia.
I
Dan.
blame Jensen Huang.
Yeah, blame Nvidia for the
Everybody
hedge
hold
funds I'm
strong.
in.
This is a part of the stock market, Jose. You always hold strong. This is what happens, up and down. It continues to grow. Don't sell.
mean,
Buy,
that might have
buy,
been- that might
buy,
have been
buy,
the-
buy.
That might have been the farthest reach I've seen Eric make in years. That's like cutting out part of the Steam charts to make your point. You're like, yeah, see, it's down.
Wait, let me ask this, Logan, Jose. Are you guys still sticking with the NVIDIA GPU the next time you buy, or are you gonna switch to AMD?
That's 5 years away. So I have no idea, dude.
Logan, me and you have puny 4080 supers.
I know,
which is
right?
still like
Like-
10 frames behind like a 5080. But anyway, what are you thinking?
I mean, I've always gone with Nvidia. They keep their stuff up to date. I don't have to worry about like whether or not the thing's going to be supported. They have like new.
See, this is what I'm talking about, Logan. They're gonna win.
I mean, if they win,
Because
they win.
care.
Here's the thing. Like any tech company right now is all doing the exact same thing. They're all pushing for AI right now, but AI is just the flavor of the week.
Yep.
This is just what they're focusing on right now because this is the golden goose. When this thing blows over or gets merged into something else, it'll be some other thing. Like the biggest issue that we should be focusing on is not whether or not the games get changed, it's whether or not artists are getting paid.
I've had 3 AMD cards in my PC
here we go,
gaming
guys.
life. Started with the R9 Fury, and that had the most coil whine I've ever heard out of the GPU. Over my fans, that thing was so loud.
That could be up to the manufacturer that you bought it
Dude,
from.
come on. It was an Asus card. I have had my last one was before I bought my 3080 during the GPU shortage, and I got a
Yeah, I remember that.
6900 XT.
Yeah.
Jesus, those
Good
drivers
card.
were awful.
But great card, great performance.
Oh, sure.
Dan, can I ask you on the reverse of that? Have you been happy with like the ecosystem of Nvidia, like the update or the app?
He just likes.
Yes,
I've
to
never been unhappy.
He just loves to be
I wait.
outraged.
He is asking me right now, Bacon.
I am asking Dan.
Okay.
I've had nothing but a great experience with
That's what I'm saying.
NVIDIA app, my NVIDIA GPU. It's always performed. And I had one AMD. I actually have a 4080 or 4070 in my laptop, and I had an AMD one in on my previous laptop. And the AMD Adrenaline Rush app is just it's just not as good. I'm sorry.
I've
You
never
need to
seen a
improve.
video. I've never seen a video online of an AMD catching fire.
Oh, got you there.
That's
Bacon.
fair. You,
Well, you
you
haven't
got
lived.
us on that one.
There you go. And well,
never
what about
been
this though,
powerful
guys?
enough.
Wait, counter argument. Every single console we've owned has basically been on AMD hardware.
Okay.
It doesn't. I'm not saying it's
That's
bad, but
a
I'm saying
budget friendly option though.
And they're out of date the day they ship.
Well,
Yeah.
moving on.
I'm not wrong.
Next news story.
Spirited debate, gentlemen. I enjoyed that.
what is that?
It's just Bethesda music. It's not really good either. So don't worry about a copyright. We're good.
Betrayal.
That, folks, it's coming to PS5.
Our watcher count just came down.
Starfield launching April 7th. The Free Lanes update brings new ways to travel, new locations, new side quests, and much more to Starfield game. Experience all that Starfield has to offer, along with the upcoming Terran Armada story DLC on Xbox, PC, and for the first time ever, the greatest console out right now, the PS5 will finally be able to experience the greatness that is Starfield, you guys. Starfield is embracing DLSS5. It's embracing the PS5. Who's jumping back into Starfield on April 7th?
When DLSS5 is there, I will.
I guess you can dare lick my balls, Capitan.
All right. Well, apparently, you guys, I'm the only one excited to drop into Starfield. Nobody else, I can't believe I'm saying this, nobody else is dropping into. Let me ask again. Is anyone else here dropping back into Starfield for the new DLC? Raise your hand. Jose?
I mean, maybe.
I need up. It was only me raising my hand, you guys. So before Jose tells me why he's not getting into it, Todd Howard also had an interview with Morsmall Gaming. He addressed the criticism of paid content pricing, a example being $30 for Shattered Space DLC and $10 for the smaller packs like the Trackers Alliance. He emphasizes value to players, market comparisons, and adjustments based on feedback. By the way, who bought the year one expansion thing? So I don't have to worry about that. And that they're definitely, this is not the end for Starfield. They're already planning what we call year 3, which will come in different formats. Todd praises Starfield's modular difficulty system added in 2024 update, which I did play and I did appreciate, and we're going to talk about difficulty options later on in the show. After internal debates on survival mode, normal mode leans easier by design, harder options were added later, and they plan to keep exposing systems to modders. I appreciate that. Maybe the next Skyrim will follow that, or Elder Scrolls. Jose, you said maybe. Why aren't you as high on Starfield as I am right now?
It's not that I'm not high on Starfield. Your question was who's jumping back in right away. That's my answer is no. I like Starfield, and I would be interested to go back. But here, it's going to sound silly, but just bear with me. If you have not played Star Wars Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws has the exit and entry to planets that Starfield should have. And here's what I'm saying.
Why are we making a big deal of this entering and exiting planets? I'm tired of it.
Dan, I agree with you that we should make it about little things, and that's not the whole reason why I'm not jumping back in. But I'll tell you, and if you don't believe me, it's worth downloading Outlaws because it's free right now on Game Pass just to see what I'm talking about. It doesn't take that long to get into the game to do that. It's crazy how cool it feels to like lift off from a planet in real time and be in space, and then you're controlling in space like the way that Starfield was. And it is a little bummer to me that they didn't do that for Starfield. Now, again, they also have Star Wars has 4 planets, I think 4. So we're talking a major scaling difference.
To be fair, Jose, I feel like Starfield would have benefited with like having like 5 planets.
That was my other frustration. Full stop, and it may again be a me issue. I did not like having so many systems. Like I get that they're trying to mimic the galaxy. That's the whole point of like a Starfield. I understand that, but I didn't understand the freaking system and like where it was like I want to go here, and they're like you can't jump. That's too far. And I was like, then don't let me click on it on the map, man. Like that's what I need you to do because I'm like a 5-year-old. But again, I like Starfield. I will probably go back at some point. You know, good point. Shout out to Stone that was like, if I gave it 2 years to mature. Like a lot of games, if you really did wait for things and they update and fix stuff, it actually probably is a really cool experience. And it was a beautiful game. I do think the DLSS5 looked better also on Starfield, like Macon said. So I think that would be cool for me to see if that releases. I'm glad they're sticking with it. And I do admit there were a couple of campaigns that I really, really enjoyed. The DLC, I loved the first like half hour.
Oh my God, so good. And then it just
fell apart. I just didn't love where it went after that. But it was still a cool game. The first half hour was so cool.
And I feel like, I don't know if you saw some of the clips from the new DLC, Jose. I feel like there was a lot more zero G I saw in the clips. It looked a little bit spooky. Like I tried not to watch too much of it. I feel like they took some of that positive feedback from the beginning of what was it? Well, I don't even remember what the last DLC was. Forgive me.
Shattered Space.
Shattered Space. Amazing.
And I love Bethesda games. I loved Fallout 4. I'm excited for the new Elder Scrolls. It's not a hate to Bethesda or Todd or anyone. It's just the other truth is I just have too much to play right now. Like I really, really do. And I'm loving Marathon, and I still want to play Ragnarok. And there's other games coming out that are coming out this year. So like it's just not for me right now.
I feel like the date is good though. I can't think of anything coming up in April, so I will definitely be there. Gentle said I'm buying the premium edition. Does that mean you're buying it on PS5, Gentle Stone? The PS5 edition? Speaking of price, before I throw it over to Logan, guys, what do you think about this comment by Derek Strickland over at Tweaktown? Not gonna lie, as an Xbox gamer, the idea of paying more for a less complete game isn't a great feeling. I get that Xbox had like 3 years head start with Starfield, but the quality of life updates and post-launch content didn't exist back then. Xbox gamers also paid $20 more for the base game. And to which I responded, then I guess wait years to play the game? I played Starfield and the expansions day one, and I haven't thought my experience was hindered by any updates or releasing to new platforms for less
You're right. 100%
money.
right.
I have no problems with the Starfield and all DLC being $50. Again, this game is almost going to be 3 years old. Logan, what did you think of the Starfield announcement DLC? Any interest? And what do you think about it being cheaper on PS5?
I mean, like, as far as the cost goes, it's always going to be better to wait.
Yeah.
And in full disclosure, like, I got review codes for this, so I didn't have to buy into it. I got the premium edition thanks to Xbox. So for me, the dollar value is hard to negotiate. If you feel like you're spending more at the beginning of playing a game and someone else is getting a better version of it for cheaper later on, always hold off on buying it.
Yeah.
I bought Star Wars Outlaws at $40 and I still haven't gotten around to actually playing it. I'm now paying $30 a month to have access to it on Game Pass. So,
and it's the best it's been.
Eggs on my face, I guess, at that point, you know, like, I didn't spend full price, but I'm still, you know, I still out money because I could have just waited to Game Pass. So, I mean, it's always going to do you better to save on that kind of stuff. As far as the actual content goes, bro, this is the most I'm impressed that they had this, because for months, and I've been posting like every once in a while.
You've been complaining about Starfield's post-launch content since the beginning.
It's been terrible. everything they do on social media is all about, like, guys, you're never going to believe the great content that we saw come to Starfield thanks to the modders. Our creation team has done a great job curating the list of stuff that other people have built for this game. And it's, dude, the Star Wars add-on that changed the game into like a Star Wars game, way better than what I saw with Starfield. So I'm interested. I'm very interested to kind of see like what they've shorn up, like what they fixed, whose mods did they take and just like jam into the game, and now we're charging money for it for PlayStation people. I'm curious to see like what those were, because when the game first came out, man, there were a ton of mods. There were so many UI mods to fix all the UI. There were so many mods to fix the dead eyes of them just being like staring directly at you and being like, I think this is a really good decision and you've done a really good job doing this. Let's go kill all these people. And you're just like, this is scary. This is why I like Cyberpunk, because I feel like I'm interacting with like a human being. So that's why
I will give you Cyberpunk's acting and human.
Oh, dude, it feels
animations
natural, right?
Are way better. But Starfield's shooting was pretty dang good.
No, the shooting's fine. No question about the shooting. The need to have so many damn like sandwiches in your ship and stuff, like that's like that. It's
Bethesda.
So, but that is a weird thing that it's like that's what Bethesda fans like, and I'm not going to yuck their yum, because I feel like they're dropping the ball on certain things. So I'm glad that they're doing this content. I'm glad that they're bundling it with a fresh launch on PlayStation, because you know, somewhere Pete Hines is, you know, crying into his pillow. Dude. He's like, why did they do this to me? Yeah. I was already working on it, and I just wanted to give it to the people. I just wanted to give it to them, and they wouldn't let Xbox would not let me.
Bacon, are you dropping back to Starfield? I don't.
No, I have two reasons why I won't.
Oh God, here we go.
One, I don't support the release on PlayStation. And two, I don't think Game Pass Ultimate subscribers who are paying $30 a month should have to pay for DLC.
I disagree with you there. I disagree. They're giving you full access to a game, and you can buy the DLC stance at a discounted price. I completely disagree. You should not just get everything for a game. I'm sorry.
You've been a bundler. You haven't paid full price forever. The rest of us have. So it's been pretty expensive.
This is true. And go ahead.
I still agree with Dan. I really do.
They're giving you a lot with Starfield. And I didn't know this.
Eric beat it twice.
Eric said it's not really talked about that, but the Terran Armada was never supposed to be in the premium edition. So throwing it in is a bonus and generous. I didn't know that, Eric. So I'm glad they're throwing it in there because that's all I paid for Starfield. Like Bacon said, I paid at a discounted Game Pass rate and then just paid the 25 or whatever $30 it was to get all the DLC. So
I don't support the launch on PlayStation.
Bacon's like 90s Yugoslavia only recognizes certain entities. That's like, I don't recognize this company called PlayStation.
Yeah, they don't exist to me anymore.
But what do we think the PS5 score is going to be on the game? Higher or lower?
93.
They've been starved for a Bethesda game since like Doom Eternal, so like 8.5.
I'm excited. I hope more. I in general hope more players play it, and I already have a video planned that I'm going to release around the launch of it on PS5 because I hope more players complete the main campaign to Starfield because it is easily Bethesda's best campaign compared to any of their Elder Scrolls, any of the Fallouts. Hands down the best. And play Crimson Fleet and what's the other one? UC Vanguard. UC
Vanguard. That's the one with the planet.
Don't.
Oh, that is. That's
everybody go
one.
play
UC
so Vanguard, Crimson Fleet, main campaign like that. If you're new to Starfield, please give it a try. Ignore all the hate. Everyone should play the game.
Eric, that was like 6 years ago, bro.
Eric said, weren't the Deathloop and Ghostwire PS5 exclusive Bethesda games? He's right.
But that was like 6 years ago.
Let's move on to news story number 3 here. And this is for Bacon. Bacon, there have been major updates. I've been wanting to talk to you. This is a month old now at this point. Arc Raiders dev interview with PC gamers. Bacon, aggression-based matchmaking is what they call it, is not binary. There's no separate friendly or aggressive lobbies. Okay? It mixes all players. Outcomes depend on human motivations, not splits according to the recent gameplay, Bacon. Okay?
It's fine.
Single PvP actions like shooting one raider do not lock players into aggressive lobbies.
Okay.
The ABMM system evaluates a series of rounds in overall PvP engagement for a nuanced tuning. End of game surveys have zero impact on matchmaking. They only gauge round feelings for data analysis. Games never require PvP. It is optional, Bacon. Maintaining tension for player risk. I found this interesting. The matriarch and queen boss were not intended for the full server to go up against to get equally rewarded. It is meant to be a couple of dedicated squads, but whenever I fought one, you guys, and succeeded, it's always been a bunch of people going after that queen. And by the way, Bacon stole, never forget, Bacon stole killing the queen achievement by shooting
I timed it perfectly.
Stitcher and shooting it last bullet.
There's a health bar, and I knew exactly where it was at.
Shooting my giant Jupiter gun into it, or Aphelion, or whatever the heck it is, the laser beam gun.
I did
Bacon got the achievement.
I did.
And we still need to get it for Jose.
And then I quit the game after that.
I don't think it's installed anymore on mine.
The future, guys, they're very likely going to revamp parts of the skill tree. They don't want people to be able to max out the entire skill tree. That's not the way the game is designed. Allowing some blueprints to be carried over after expeditions is being considered, but balances the progression power curve. And I just thought some of these points were very interesting about the aggression-based matchmaking. Bacon, go ahead.
You can't control the rats though, Dan. So they can spout all they want.
So you are never going back to Arc Raiders, similar to Casual Dad Skills. Casual Dad Skills uninstalled it.
Maybe I would go in with another person other than you who tells me to be a pacifist, lets me get killed, and then goes, we should have definitely fought those guys early, but we didn't because I'm a nice guy.
What if I told you there's a product for you for aggression-based extraction shooters? Jose, do you want to tell them about this product?
I don't know if you've heard of this game, Bacon.
I have
it's
not
called
actually.
Marathon. And I'll tell you what, Dan's not even playing it, so you can play it with me.
Who's the publisher of that game?
It's a new company.
And Sony
it's called
Interactive Entertainment.
Bungie.
I haven't heard of anything from them in a long time. They don't exist.
Also Yugoslavia over there. Okay, good to know.
Okay, wait. This is crazy. I got to get to some of these comments. Eric said, if you go in full pacifist for a set amount of rounds at Arc Raiders, you will get into baby lobbies where nobody fights. That's not how people at my work play, and it's awful. Ashes to Ashes uninstalled it. Emotionless Taco, I can't imagine Tarkov with everybody teaming up. It feels weird in an extraction shooter to team up with Randers. Matt Valdez, I also quit bacon, and I'm the guy who gifted it to everybody. LOL.
Thank you, Matt.
Arc was getting repetitive, said Deja Vu. Oh my gosh. Emotionless Taco. Marathon interests me, was thinking about picking it up, guys. Was our 2025 game of the year Arc Raiders? Is it dead, Jose?
No, it's still way more alive than the other one.
But, Jose, you've been playing Marathon. You also apparently uninstalled Arc Raiders. Tell me what your thoughts are reading this about these updates, and then
I'll tell you what my thoughts are.
Of course.
Every day it continues to lose players.
But it has. But here, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're not talking about Steam charts. Okay, so I'll talk about Marathon later. But I still like Arc. I really enjoyed Arc. I have no ill will towards Arc. But here's where it kind of lost me. I got to the point where I ran out of things to do, and I know they've added more. I understand.
They have added more quests. Have you sent your raider out on expedition? Started all over like me.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. I have no interest in doing that.
And guess what you're going to have to do in 3 months in Marathon, Jose?
Or I'll just leave Marathon. Like
Marathon forces it on you. You will be completely reset in 3 months.
Okay. That's fine. I'm a level 5.
Just saying.
I don't know if you read my little thing below my name. I'm a level 5, which is not high for those that don't know. I didn't like in Arc Raiders that like their version of progression was to say just start over. Like that feels not great to me. And I hear what you're saying. That's Marathon too. I understand that. I'm just saying I was just like, I got my time out of this. I had a great time. I really, despite I do agree with making it, I got yelled at a lot. And there were times where it's like, are we going to shoot? Are we going to shoot? And no, we're not. Okay. And I started moving and then I got shot. So like there were really fun parts of the PvP that were cool. And there were a lot of funny memories and silly things and hijinks. Yes. But it is refreshing on the other side to be like, when I go to Marathon, it is shoot to kill. There is no question. You could do that in Arc Raiders, Jose. You can, but that's not how we played as a group.
Then maybe we should.
No, Dan, you've said this. You said this for a month.
We will be the bad. No, you said you didn't want to be the bad guy. I said I will be the bad guy now with my new character. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to switch. New guy, new attitude.
I also don't love that they're resetting like a skill tree. I think that's lame. Like you know what I mean? Like that's
resetting it.
You just says that in there. You just said that they're gonna make you reset your skill tree with the expeditions. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
So that's just why
happened to Marathon too.
I have no ill will towards Arc Raiders. I love Embark. I hope that they maybe in 6 months, a year, I'll go back and have a great time. But like, I'm just good right now. I'd rather play some other things. And I'm glad they're keeping going. I know they just started their 3rd season after the winter event. It's like hurricanes or dust storms or something like that. Cool. Like I like that they're continuing content. I just want to play some other things. That's it. That's all it is.
I think the quests were all lame in that game. Go turn on this tower and then go deposit.
Jose, how are the quests compared to Marathon? Same crap?
Yes and no. Now, here's what I'd say, Bacon. I agree with you that they're lame, but the point of the quest wasn't the quest. The point was to teach you the map and the mechanics of the game. Like that's what they were about. They were to get you involved. Great. This one, there are a little different ones. So here's one tiny example. The last time I played, which was like Tuesday, it's been forever. I played one round. I picked. You pick contracts. It's a little different than the Arc or than Arc, because Arc you could have as many as you want. In Marathon, you can only have one. And so you have to kind of choose, and they're also map dependent. So like same thing with Arc, where you have to do specific things in specific maps. So the one I got said you have to do all of these things in a round, and if you don't do all of them, it resets. You don't get like partial credit. And it also so the one I got was like go basically hack into this terminal, which just means like go press X on this terminal. But I had to find it. And then once I found it, it was like, now you have to kill the general. And I was like, what the hell's the general? And it was like one of the Arc, like, or not Arc, one of the runner AI robot things. Yeah. And it wrecked me. And so even though I lost my gun and all that stuff, I was like, that's kind of cool because it forces me to play with other people or be more tactical. And again, I'm still learning. Level 5 is like nothing. Yeah. Like I've played less than 10 rounds at this point. Yeah. But I want to read Casual Decimals, and this is kind of how I felt when I played the Server Slam. Marathon hasn't grabbed me at all. For me, I think it's an immersion issue. Arc Raiders world drew me in right away. I agree.
ashes to ashes. Marathon feels like I'm running around in a paintball field. We'll say I want to save some of my thoughts about Marathon because I kind of agree with you on that as well in the art style. Logan, quick thoughts. I don't even know. I can't remember. Did you even play either of these games?
Yeah, no, I jumped into Arc Raiders for a while. I had a really good time with it. I never got like through everything, but I love the world and the aesthetic of Arc Raiders. It reminds me of a movie that never got made that was based in the world of the Matrix.
Was it Generation Zero? Is that the game I'm thinking of?
It feels like Zion.
Yeah.
And
really?
it feels like
because
it feels like
underground. Yeah.
Everyone's underground.
Yeah.
Everyone goes up to the surface, but instead of like jacking into lines to like go up and like you're the people in Zion
kind of like the Matrix,
who have to go up and deal with the robots.
You're right.
That's you're muted, Bacon. What are you saying?
No, I'm just
Playing
with my mouth.
Just playing with your mouth. Just making me, just tricking me up. But Arc Raiders, I liked it because it was grounded in reality. I understood what a rubber duck was. When I played Marathon, I looked at what I thought was like a health pack, and I didn't know if it was a health pack. I didn't know if it was like a shield. There was a lot of a learning curve there, and that already with like the very like cyberpunk kind of futuristic aesthetic was enough for me to say, you know what? Probably a really great game. I know the Bungie devs put a lot of love into it. They've had some extra time to focus on like really kind of making sure that their game's going to be good. And I trust them to do that because it's the older team that's working on it. So I'm not concerned as far as like the quality of the game, but as far as like the UI, the learning curve on all the pronouns that they have for whatever the junk that they're doing, and just the overall look, I was like, I got other stuff I can play. I'm not like die hard on this being the next thing that I stand for. So I was like, I'll let this one pass.
I agree with your Matrix reference. We all agreed that there was only one rat in the Matrix, and it was Cypher, and he was a punk.
I hate that.
Ark has way too many rats, and I don't think Zion would send that many rats to the surface.
You don't know that though, Bacon.
Maybe they're the ones that have to go. It's like the criminals in 12 Monkeys where they have to get sent to the surface.
Great reference.
Great film.
Oh my god.
One thing I didn't like about Arc Raiders though, I didn't like any of the player skins. I thought they were all hideous. I thought the actual
the hockey ones, like
everything else about the world was very cool, and I agree. I connected to it right away. Casual Dead Skills, the production value is fantastic. To Logan's point about Marathon, I just think it's over designed visually and UI wise, and I think those are fair criticisms.
Maybe DLSS5 will fix that.
Maybe. Guys, let's move into the last news story very quickly. Coming to Game Pass for mid-March 2026. Some of the ones I wanted to highlight. South of Midnight is on the premium tiers, the lower tier, I guess. Disco Elysium, the altars as well. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is coming to Game Pass Ultimate, Premium, and PC Game Pass. This is the big one I wanted to point out. Absalom. I was going to buy this game. I've heard nothing but good things about Absalom. It's kind of like
I just bought that on Steam.
Okay. Double Dragon kind of thing?
Yeah, some side scroller, beat 'em up, roguelike elements.
Loves it.
Kyle loved it on Trophy Room. I've heard nothing but good things about that, so that's cool to see there. Day one on Game Pass is Nova Roma, The Long Dark. I feel like it's always been there. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, you guys, one of the best Resident Evil games ever, is probably back in Game Pass, I want to say. Yeah. Barbie Horse Trails, can't wait to check that one out. Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is going to Premium. Bacon already is, I don't know if he's beaten this or not. Final Fantasy 4, of course, has been.
Now I'm still on 3.
Leaving March 31st, guys, go play Peppa Pig. Go get that 1,000 out of 1,000 real quick. And Mad Streets. So those are the games coming to Game Pass. I have too many games to play, but
way too many.
It's cool to see that there's some solid games still being added to Game Pass. Gabby's Dollhouse is unironically clutch for me, said Eric. It's my daughter's favorite thing in the world. He spelled favorite wrong, but
that's how they say it in Canada.
Nissa said Barbie Project Friendship was awesome. Well, you know how I am about cozy games.
I will
Nissa.
take
That's
your
all
word
you.
for that one,
That's
Nissa.
all you.
I will take your word.
Jose, let's jump into Nerd Chat shoutouts, Jose.
We have none.
Jose, we did not have
Big
any
boxes
shoutouts this
disappeared on us. I offend Big Box? And I could have.
We probably all did, to be fair.
I mean, I feel like
I even checked the
offended him.
questions for the show in the Discord. Nothing.
Oh. How do you
Just
get
doing
on
a
our
great job
Discord?
of reporting out here.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. We're answering
Reporting
every
is a strong
question
word.
before they're asked. That's why we're so good at what we do.
Guys, let's jump into what have we been playing and are watching, Jose.
Is that I don't know if we have a song for that one.
Guys, I've been gaming. I'm going to start us off. I jumped into Silent Hill 2. Coming from a background of only beating Silent Hill 1, and when I say beating, I only beat it when I was in either a freshman in high school, 8th grade. It was 99, Jose, so I don't know, somewhere in there.
99
At
was
Jack
freshman
McAuliffe's
high school.
house, probably. With
Jack
all the lights on, we only played during the daytime. We only played with unlimited ammo, unlimited health, and we were terrified out of our minds playing Silent Hill 1. And that was the last time I played Silent Hill, was beating that game. Never played 2. So here I am playing Silent Hill 2. I've been streaming the entire series. Shout out to Logan. He was there keeping me based and calm all night last night. Scared out of my mind. Jose, this game's interesting to me because I didn't know
Yeah.
that this is a puzzle game, you guys. This
Yep,
game is a
100%
puzzle game with some combat, which is surprisingly satisfying. When
The
I'm
remake did a good job.
when
with
I'm
that.
piping that beast down on the ground and kicking it and stepping on it, making sure it's dead because they start to pop up again, it's satisfying. I wish you could lock on. I think that would make it even better, but it would make it too easy. Exactly. It would make it too easy because there's a little bit of jank, and sometimes those mannequins pop out and jump on you when you least suspect it.
Did you finish last night? The whole game?
No.
Okay. I want to ask you about it when you're done because I had never played it till I played the remake.
Yeah.
So
So, I didn't know that. I thought so. I am noticing, and I was talking about this with Logan in the stream last night. You can see where they had to hide stuff back on the PS2 because you're basically covered in fog when you're on the outside, and when you're in a building, it's these tight corridors. There's not much space, not much going on, and it's basically the same thing now, but with much improved graphics. Is this anywhere near Resident Evil 9? No. But is this a huge improvement? I have to give them credit since what was it? The Medium? Was that the one?
Oh God, that was
The last. Who's the developer of
Bluebird.
this?
That was
Jose?
Bluebird,
Bluebird
right?
team.
Yeah.
Bluebird team, yeah. Incredible jump, right? Great voice acting. Even Matthew was like, "What's his name? James? It's James, right?"
Ethan. No, not Ethan is Resident Evil. It's
Leon.
No, it's James.
I'm pretty sure it's
Sunderland
James.
or something. Great voice acting. My brother commented on it. Maria's a little weird. Don't know what's going on with that. The random characters you run into. But I gotta say, the best part about Silent Hill 2, Jose, that I'm enjoying, I am starting to enjoy the puzzles a little bit.
They're good puzzles,
Okay.
dude.
And what I really like that I think this game does better than any game I've played before is the use of the map and how it writes down clues,
Yep.
where you need to go,
Yep.
what you've already discovered, where you should go next. You don't need to worry about this. They do a really nice job of adding these little context clues and notes on your map that I feel Resident Evil has never done and has never come close to. The Resident Evil, you just look at the map and go, or it's like red and
Yeah,
green.
it does
like
the
you've
coloring
completed
though.
it,
Red is open, blue is you visited. Yeah,
which they didn't do in 9, which I didn't like. I wish they would have done that.
Me too.
But I really appreciate how Silent Hill uses the map and circles and X's and gives you clues and points and puts hints on there. It's really unique and I really appreciate it. Game overall though, it's interesting, Jose. It is not what I was
where
expecting.
are you at right now? I didn't get to watch you last night.
I'm in the Dark World Hospital now. I was like so excited. I was like, I'm done with the hospital. No, I'm not, because you go to this
not.
other side. So it is cool though, Jose, because I'm, like I said, never played it, had no idea what this is about, and it's just been an incredible new experience for me.
How many
So
how many
I wanna
bosses have
shut
you
it up.
gotten to? Obviously the one that everybody knows. I saw you fight that one.
Yeah,
How many after that?
the next one, the one in the like that pops through the ceiling,
Ceiling. Okay.
like
That's
the
just
gopher.
curious.
I was like, what's going on with this? I was
Do you also remember? Does anyone know in chat was the original Silent Hill tank controls? I don't know because I didn't play it, but that would have made this game a lot
the first
harder.
one was the first one for sure. I don't know about 2.
Okay.
So I got to read some of these questions. So Emotionless Taco said Silent Hill 2 is such a unique experience, and watching it unravel is so much. It really is. Like, it's grown on me. At first I was like, I don't know if I like this, but now I'm like, what's the next puzzle gonna be? Like, what am I gonna see on my little map? Like, I'm kind of getting used to being like, oh, something's gonna jump out at me. I'm gonna have to hammer it for a little bit, whatever. It's kind of getting a little repetitive. Eric said I should have played it on my PS5 Pro with Pisser 2.0. No, I don't think so. It is James Sutherland. That's what I think. So Taco says we're talking about 2 here. Was 2 tank controls as well? That's what
Taco said, yeah.
Taco,
He said
Taco
it was.
saying yeah. So shout out to Silent Hill 2. I'm really having a good time. Also been doing Division on my own. I haven't played any of the missions. If any of you guys want to help me with D1, I'm still saving those. I've just been doing side stuff. We jumped in. All of us here actually jumped into the Division 2 in Washington D.C. A little disappointed that the missions are only story mode easy.
Oh my
Like,
god,
Bacon
they're
hates
easy.
it. Bacon hates how easy it
Hate
is.
everything about it.
We'll just try to get through it as quickly as we can, Bacon, and get to the DLCs, because none of us here have played the DLCs.
I've beat them.
Oh, I haven't. The game looks incredible, and I have another review I want to share too, Jose, but I'll say that for later. Jose, what have you been playing?
Not a whole lot. Basically, those 2 things I already said. So Division 1 with the crew here, which is fun. Like, it does look beautiful. It was really a great game. It makes me really sad that we're having no news on a Division 3, because man, I think especially in today's climate, it would just feel very appropriate and could be really fun. The other thing is, like I said, I jumped into Marathon. I really like it, and here's what I will say. I'm not going to defend it for
Let's
very
hear
long.
I want to hear your thoughts on Marathon so far, because you're the only one out of all of us here, and including in our group, who's purchased it. You got sucked in, so tell me what you're thinking.
So honestly, what happened was I was listening to Bitcast last week, and if you haven't listened to that show, where basically all Ains, Hogue, and Travis were like, I love this game. And more than just I love it, because they say that about a lot of games, but all 3 of them did, which that was unique in of itself. And the way they just like talked about all the content, and I was truly, Dan, you're gonna laugh, I liked Arc Raiders. I like Arc Raiders. Like, it's a cool game, but I just felt like I was just done with it. Like, I just wanted something different. And so I don't really want to go to Tarkov. Like, that seems very daunting to me. And so I was like, oh, let me try it, Marathon. I also, to be fair, I want to intrinsically support Bungie, because even if Marathon isn't it long term for me, I still want that company to mean something, because it's a selfish self-preservation thing. But here's what I would say. The training mission that like teaches you the things, I was so overwhelmed by what everybody said, by what Casual Dad Skills said, by what Freight and Stone said. Like, it is like an assault of the eyes. But I have a strong feeling that was very intentional by the developers, because as soon as you finish that, when you start a new run, it's not like that, right? Like, that run was really meant to be like, we're going to show you all the things in a short time, and we're going to make it stressful, because we kind of want you to get into like the competitive part of the game. The controls are crazy tight in a good way. The shooting feels
it felt good.
So freaking good,
Bungie.
dude. Like, it really does. And here's the thing, I haven't played it with any friends yet. Like, even though we have a lot of friends, Eric, Ains, that have played it, they haven't been on when I was there, or like I was playing one game and I was like, I need to go to bed, I can't get sucked in right now because it's just been a busy week at work. And so I've only done solo runs. And in a weird way, like Ains was joking on his show about how it feels like a horror movie, because you're just like going real slow and like everything is like you're just worried. But I also just wanted time to like explore, and like Logan's point is very fair, that the first time it's like, what are you picking up? And it was like, I don't know. I'm just picking up everything at this point. But the same thing happened in Arc, right? For the first, I don't know, 50 runs, 60 runs, we're picking up everything, because you just don't know what parts you're going to need. I do like that you don't necessarily need parts for a lot of the stuff right now. And again, I'm just early levels, but I've played against, I really love the way that the robots are that are not players. Like, I know that's what Arc was in Arc Raiders, but because those are all like airborne, these are just like soldiers, right? Like, that part I do really like, because you can easily level up and get weapons and stuff from them and never have to see people. I've also fought a couple people and won some and lost some. And I had a really cool experience where I was the assassin skin template. I can't remember what the term is. Shell is the term. And I know everyone's better than me in the game. And you have to extract, obviously, this like little circular light thing that like once you have to activate it. It takes like 30 seconds to activate, and it's making all kinds of noise and light. And so you have to be like on the lookout.
Do the robots attack you every time when you do that?
If they're nearby, they will.
Okay.
But if not, no. But it's a beacon in the sky. So like if you're a player, like I saw someone activate it, and I was like, I'm running after them because I want to engage with somebody. And then after it's activated, you have to be in the circle pretty close. Like if it was a real space, it'd be like 15 feet radius, and for 10 seconds while it extracts you. So it forces you into these tight spaces, kind of like an arc. But I was an assassin, and I like threw a power where I had a smoke grenade, and I went invisible, and then they went invisible, and we were invisible knife fighting in the extraction, and I won. And it was awesome. Like and then the next round I got my ass kicked. Like that's just literally how the game works. But it's getting better about the eyes. Maps are huge, like insanely huge. And so I'm having a good time, man. And
what about player engagements? Do you feel like you're in running into players as much as we were on Arc, or do you feel like it's very limited and not as much?
I feel like it's less.
Far between.
But to be fair, so I've unlocked 3 of the maps. I've only played the second map one time because I was kind of being like Hogue. If you listen to Bitcast, he's like, I've only played the first map. I played like 40 hours.
He said he was trying to
I don't know. That seems a little extreme for me, but I agree with him. Like I just kind of wanted to learn the map, and I would stay around the periphery, and I was like learning some of the mechanics and stuff. And I just think it's pretty cool the way that it's done, man. And it's the lore is cool. Eric made a good point in the comments somewhere earlier that like when you finish a contract and you kind of get the next piece of lore, the way they do that is really cool in the game. And there's definitely a big universe around Marathon, obviously from the past and stuff, but it's cool, man. So I like it. Am I going to play it forever? No. Like am I as pumped as...
Do you think I need to get it to play with you, Jose?
I mean, Dan, I think we'd have a great time. Like, Dan, respectfully, you like your motto is we ball. That is in every game that we play, from Battlefield
You
to
already
COD.
know where we're dropping.
Exactly. We're going in hot
bioweapons.
and we ball. Like that's what this game really is. And yes, again, it is an assault on the eyes. Like I cannot express to you enough how like the first time you go in, it's like, but after a couple of rounds, that all fades to the back and you know what you're looking for. And I like that piece of it. And I think there's some cool aspects that I haven't even gotten to that Ains was talking about of there's only a relatively small set of guns. I think it's 23 right now or something like that. Mm-hmm. The way that you upgrade the guns is through like mods. And I have barely scratched the surface with the mods.
I don't know.
So, but the other thing is I've only played it. I've played as all the shells, but I really am sticking with the assassin because I'm a solo runner right now. Like I would be curious to know, like there's a medic one. And like when I play with teams, I like being the medic, right? Yeah. There's a tank one. I saw
the medic one with the little robot.
Yeah. So I mean, if you don't, it's okay. We got lots of friends that'll do it, and I'm not trying to push Bacon. I totally respect his decision, even though we give him
Bacon is permaban marathon.
Right? But it's cool. I like it, man. I hope it does well. And to Bacon's point, is it going to be at hundreds of thousands of people forever? I don't know.
If it
right
can
now,
maintain the 30 to 50,000 every day, Bacon, that's really good.
Yeah, that's all they need, man.
Eric said, I think this game pops on an OLED. I agree.
It does.
I think it pops too much, Eric. That's the problem when I played it. Bacon.
Yes.
Talk to us about what you've been playing specifically. I'd like you to bring up at the end. We've also jumped into the new Call of Duty Black Ops Royale.
That's true.
So I'd like to hear your impressions on that.
First, I have a question. Hey, Logan, tell me you don't live in California anymore without telling me you don't live in California.
He's saying you're pale.
He's got a snow shovel in his backdrop.
I saw that too earlier. I was like, Logan's out there shoveling.
What have I been playing? Just the Division, and the new.
What were your impressions of Black Ops Royale? Because I think it's good.
I like it a lot. I don't know if you guys ever played the original Blackout. Did you?
I never did.
I didn't.
Right. So the sounds are the same when you hit the armor. That's the same sound we had when you broke a plate in the old Blackout. I think the grapple hook and the wingsuit completely changed the field. I like that you don't have to be crazy precise with the grapple hook, and you're running from some circle or you're running from someone that you could just, latch on anything. I like how I can progress a gun without having to go put myself in trouble getting a loadout. Because we all know when loadouts drop and the red gas or the community loadouts drop and everyone's going for it, or people are camping the loadouts, right? It happens all the time. I like that I could just go by and have 2 upgraded guns. If they're guns I like. I love that I can just upgrade them on site. Yes, Dan.
Bacon, can I jump in? I think the way you upgrade guns in this is way better than in Battlefield 6's battle.
No, I
don't even know
agree.
what it's called. I think it's excellent. Actually,
crazy
when I think
fast.
about it, I like how basically you just have to find these purple upgrade kits, and it just boosts up your gun
just
level,
adds-
whatever gun you're carrying.
There's 5
right then.
levels total. You can't
And
go
you
higher
want to
than
get
5.
to like you're like gray, then it goes green, blue, purple,
orange.
orange is like the
And
highest. you can
and
go.
I find and I love the fact that I get an initial respawn right away.
Yes. So when you
And
die,
I
you
don't
get
have
one
to go to the ass cancer
rebirth.
that is the gulag. I can just rebirth, drop on the map, and do my thing. And then if I die again, then I gotta ask one of the squad to go sit at that respawn station for 30 seconds. I actually quite enjoy it. I haven't noticed any technical issues other than controllers not working.
Oh yes,
and other
which is
weird
no
oddities
problem.
that my cohorts are having. But I actually quite I don't think I'll go back to Warzone. I mean, I actually like the flow of this one better.
This is the Warzone. What are you talking about? The other one's gone.
Oh, did they
You
get
mean
rid of the whole
Rebirth?
Warzone?
The old one's gone.
This is- this is
Yeah,
Warzone.
it's gone.
This
This is it. Okay. Yeah, and I like when you go in the smoke, the zombies are there, and it adds just a little extra. You know,
The contracts. I still haven't quite figured out the contracts yet. I think we've just been grabbing them just to do it. I still
to
think
do
we're
it,
going to spend
right.
some more time on it. But
and I like not having to get ghost and making sure this loadout and
Yeah.
then going to a second loadout to get your second favorite gun.
Yeah.
And, you know, because half the time we get killed in Warzone was one of us dropping, hitting the contract, and the other two flying over to start the contract. And the one that's by himself gets smoked and is yelling, "Hey, where are you guys at?" And we're like, "We're over here doing the contract, Dan." That's why we're
That was
actually
Dan.
because we're always rushing to try to get our loadouts, and that's not a thing anymore. We could just play and be a group, and I quite enjoy it. So
yeah, Jose, any other thoughts on the Black Ops Royale?
It is cool. Like I you know, if I was a hardcore COD player and I'm not, maybe I wouldn't like it because they put so much time into meticulously looking at stats for guns and stuff like that. And I'm sure there still are people like, go find this gun and upgrade it and stuff. But it definitely felt like it leveled the playing field, and it was fun.
Yes,
like
I agree.
it was like we got third place like 4 times in a row.
We got
you
top
know what I'm
5 a
saying?
lot. We just
Like
couldn't-
and it didn't feel like we were hiding, and it didn't feel like we were ultra aggressive or we had to be aggressive.
Yeah,
I
it was like a
thought it was great. One other thing I forgot to mention because I didn't say it last week, my 6-year-old workhorse Elite Series 2 died right after our show last week.
show him, Jose. Show it to him.
And so I pinged all of our friends and I was like, what should I get? And I'd already bought the Razer V3 about a year ago, and it was cool.
didn't
And
like the
I liked
nubs.
it. I just didn't love it. And I'd sent it back. I pulled a Dan. And so I was going to go with
Show
the
him, Jose.
8K because Ains and Bacon both
because-
loved the 8K. And shout out to Eric because he was truly the one who was like,
I
"Just
bought
try
it first,
You did,
and I
But
told you to.
you did, but I was going back and forth because you've bought so many, and Bacon has bought so many, and Ains bought so many, and Luke's bought so many, and Eric was just like, dude, try the Game Surge G7, and so I was like, okay, so I picked up the G7.
Show him, Jose. Look at this is the new hotness, you guys. The Game Surge G7 Pro, baby. I got the Zenless Zone 01 right here, guys. This thing, tell him, Jose.
It's $80. Like that truly is what's amazing to me. But like literally it comes with the extra like macro buttons on the top of the controller, these gold ones right here that you can see. It's got your nice paddles that are super comfy. It feels very similar to a
flush.
traditional Xbox controller. I mean, dude, I'm just surprised. It's mouse click everything. It's
Dude.
our TMR sticks, like it's dope. And here's what I also love: programming it is super easy. There's a little M programming button. If you're like, I want to reprogram this button to RB, you hold M, you hit the button, and you hit the button you want. Like you can do it on the fly in a game.
Have you used the software yet, Jose?
Yeah, I did download it. And I
It's
have done
legit,
nothing
and
with
it connects instantly. Like,
Yep.
please
guys,
tell me you're using the top buttons at least.
I'm not. I haven't been using because Bacon. When I had them mapped, I would accidentally. These are very sensitive. Like, listen,
Yeah.
I found myself hitting them on accident and doing an action that I didn't want right away, and I can see myself using them down the road. But that's the beauty of it. Is like I feel like this controller is so good even without it, even with just the back two, which I appreciate. It is phenomenal. And Jose got this gold color that I didn't know existed, and it is incredible. And for $80, this
$80,
is
dude.
hands down way better than the Elite, and it's not even close. Like it's crazy.
Oh, I'll
Yes,
agree. The Elite's trash.
you can use this
Okay,
wirelessly
whoa.
on PC
It's trash.
or wired. You can use it wired on Xbox, but to use it wirelessly, you have to buy either this one or the Wu-Chang one. And I think they're coming out with another one to have a special dongle for Xbox Wireless. But I'm telling you guys, Jose, the thumbsticks, aren't they just smooth? Like the TMR, I'm telling you guys, I was sleeping on. I still don't like that the menu and options button, they should be down here.
They're high. They're way too high. I agree with that. That's my only critique. I do like, though, also on the bottom, it has the headphone jack. So like if you want to go the old school Xbox headphones, because I had the ones that were awesome that were Xbox only, but I haven't used them because they don't work as well with PC. But man, like they just give you a ton of options with this thing, which is for $80, I'm just floored. Like that's what I keep going back to. And you know, like, am I going to stay with this forever? No. If they do an Elite 3, I'll probably pick up an Elite 3.
Timber.
I may still go back to the 8K at some point just to have a backup. But for $80, dude.
Timber, go check it out. They have some sweet colorways too. And so
There's
there's a red and black one. There's a white one. There's an AK one. There's a Aim Labs one coming out. Also, they have faceplates on their website that you can swap out that look sick, that are compatible with all of them. So much customization on it. Go check out the website for the faceplates, but you can get them on it. I'd get it through Amazon just to check it out and be able to return it easily.
I got the G7 Pro because
Yeah,
GameStop
G7
has
Pro,
a bunch
G7
of them,
Pro,
but G7
G7
Pro
Pro
is the one we bought. Just so you know.
I'm telling you guys, it's replaced my Scuff. This is all I've been using exclusively, and I love my Scuff, but there's just something about this controller. Better haptics too, Jose. Better haptics, better trigger haptics. I don't know if I synced it to vibrate whenever I have any kind of vibration through the software. So, based Jose, trying out the game, sir. I was too hard on it last time. Yes, it only has 2 back paddles, Deja, but try the top ones. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't he have the Wolverine?
No, he has a Wolverine.
He has a Wolverine.
Probably uses the
It's
top
fine.
ones.
Yeah.
So those are the best buttons ever put on a controller.
Logan, sorry, what have you been playing, brother? We haven't gotten to you yet.
So I have been just kind of dabbling in the same stuff as I normally do. I make Keelhauled podcast, so I've been doing Sea of Thieves. They just barely tripped over the finish line for season 18 into season 19. And things are not hot for Sea of Thieves right now. It could be a lot better. It's kind of rough right now. There's a lot of community discontent. But they just announced a new update where they adjusted. They finally went back after like 10 seasons and decided to do something with their hourglass mode, which is kind of like their 1v1 ships crew mode. So, and it's a lot more like a battle royale where there's like a shrinking circle that you have to deal with. And
I didn't know that. That's cool.
You get supplies right off the bat. You can rematch instantly. Like if
Logan,
you lose.
I was terrible at fighting other people. That's why I probably quit that game. I was just terrible.
It's one of those things. Like the weapons are all baseline. There's no upgrading weapons to account for skill. You just got to get good. And the cannons and stuff are just a learned behavior. So there's a learning curve to it that I understand. But it's one of those games. Like I've been playing that. There's a new. I went into so I don't know if you guys keep up with any survival games, but I've been dabbling ever since I fell in love with Grounded. I've been a lot more open to survival games. Tried out Rust. Tried out Smallville or Small World. I can't remember what it was called. Tried out Grounded 2. Jumped into Rust, and the one that I just jumped into, or there's 2 actually that I jumped into. There's a Windrose demo.
Is that the pirate one?
It's the pirate one.
Okay.
And and it feels a lot like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. But it's still with like the survival stuff. So if you've wanted to have like pirate ships that you can actually like upgrade, kind of like Skull and Bones.
I was gonna say, is this Skull and Bones?
It's Skull and Bones without the weird kind of stigma behind it. And it's actually really, really well done. I've been very impressed with the demo. But the other one that I've actually jumped into last Tuesday was Enshrouded, which is another survival game.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah,
it's been early access forever. It's going to be doing a 1.0 this year. So I got a review code for that I'm working on, and just kind of trying it out. But that's a pretty good one too. I was been very, very surprised. In an age where like games that I've loved over time were like those story-based games or those open world ones where I'm just, loving the environment and stuff. Like No Man's Sky's got that one that they're coming out with that's like medievalist. Those kind of games I'm really enjoying because it's just like exploration or focus on building or completing quests and stuff like that, which kind of takes me into the other thing that I've been playing, which is World of Warcraft, and getting into the new expansion Midnight, which I've had a long play session or a long, like, I've been playing Warcraft as a franchise since 1994, 1995. Yeah, I've been playing Warcraft games since then, but ever since 2004 when they came out with World of Warcraft, I've been playing that off and on for decades at this point.
Yeah,
and it's one of those ones that every time I go back in, the lore, the characters are there, the story's there, the world is there, and I just have fun kind of, running around and doing the simple tasks, the quests, the dailies, and all those things that kind of like hit the little dopamine buttons and stuff. So that's been fun, but it's been really, I've actually really enjoyed like the sessions that we've been doing with the Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's
me too.
One of those things, like I every time like Division comes up, I'm like, I want to have a reason to go back into Division, because as much of like a bullet sponge as that is, it's just one of those fun games to get back into.
It was fun. We didn't tell people when we played the missions on hard how like it's almost 200. We're just hanging back, just shooting from a ledge. Logan, you guys jumped in. He went in too early to this one arena and he was down. He literally watched us for like 15 minutes as we just stayed back like a bunch of sissies shooting from behind a corner because these guys would melt us otherwise.
Over the like we'd hop up, shoot, and get knocked, and then fall off the back, and then go like, just pick me up.
It is fun. It is too hard though. But then I agree with Bacon on Division 2 on the story mode for some reason. Too
crazy easy.
Like it's not.
It is weird.
I don't think I've sought out cover in like 5 hours in that game.
To be fair, Bacon's like, this is way too easy. And then he's the only one who gets knocked.
Yeah, the boss came right out the door I was standing next to.
But no, I've
he's
been
the one
having a
that's
blast.
played the DLC. He's played all the DLCs though.
He's gotten the furthest.
Doesn't remember where the bosses come out.
It's been a while.
Well, guys, good stuff. I will mention, as far as what have we been watching, we were getting excited to watch the new Bachelorette season with the Real Mormon Housewives lead. Just big news came out today. ABC is pulling the entire season after this domestic abuse video just came out, guys. Check it out. Crazy stuff happening in the Bachelor universe right now.
What? I don't want to see that.
So just keep an eye on that. Okay. Guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. Logan, let's start with you, brother. What was the best food you had this week?
Probably, gosh, I'm trying to think. I actually have not had anything that's spectacular. I'll be perfectly honest. I've been on a stable diet of either ordering a Papa John's pizza because I'm too lazy.
What'd you get?
Dude,
Add one to the list, Jose.
Everything. A specialty pizza, a large specialty pizza for like $15 right now.
Pizza?
It's everything.
Just like
it's
everything.
Supreme.
It's the worst.
Supreme.
Okay.
Yeah,
going with like a normal Supreme. And so that's been like fueling me. But outside of that, it's just been like, going to Costco and getting like a bunch of meat and making sloppy joes or a bunch of chicken and making barbecue chicken.
This all sounds great, Logan.
Sticking to protein, trying not to eat too many carbs.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I love it. Add pizza to the list there, Jose. Chat, please get your best food in here as well. Bacon, what about you? What was the best? Okay, wait. Speaking of bacon, Nissa said making crockpot tacos, and then Diego said, I hope Bacon has had something other than his ham sandwich.
Well, funny story, guys. I did have some ham sandwiches, but I am now on Ozempic, and
whoa!
I have not been hungry in a calendar week.
Bacon, you need to eat something though, bud.
I have to wake up. I know. Yeah. I'm like, I know I have to eat, and so I eat, but I'm eating like a third of what I used to eat. It's wild.
Cool, man.
So let's hear. So have you already lost weight with the Ozempic in 1 week?
I'm not doing it to lose weight. I'm doing it to control my blood sugar. That's just an added benefit.
Interesting.
It's the single most effective medicine for a diabetic on the planet.
I was just going to ask, why are you getting on the Ozempic?
Yeah.
How are you able to afford the Ozempic?
Dude,
that's the real question.
Right? My health, generic kind?
I'm always making fun of my insurance, and I'm like, this is going to be expensive. $75 for 3 months.
Whoa, that's crazy good, dude.
Yeah, so
that
it's the added
shot
benefit is
or
going
the
to be
pill?
it's the shot. So the added benefit, of course, is going to be the weight loss. But yeah, the insurance paid $2,900 of it, and I paid $75.
Guys, we're
Dang,
gonna see
Skinny
a whole
Bacon's
new
gonna hang out
bacon. I was
Skinny
gonna
Matt
say
Valdez.
Skinny Bacon
It's
is gonna
wild.
do it.
I didn't. I thought all the claims and the placebo, and I literally am not hungry. I
I'll call
have
you
to
turkey
I have
bacon
to
from
set
now on.
a clock and go. I'm going to eat. So tonight we got pizza because I've been demoing floors all
You
day.
got Papa John's,
No, we had a real pizza, Dan.
Sully's?
Big Bills.
Domino's,
Big Bills.
And then I normally
Domino's.
will eat like 4 pieces. I was completely stuffed after a piece. And a half.
4? Dude, I eat like 8.
I was completely stuffed after a piece and a half, so I'll have some for tomorrow. But that's part of the Ozempic.
Dude, I'm always hungry. In fact, I'm hungry right now.
And then, as I'm telling people at work, you'd be surprised how many people you work with that are on Ozempic.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are. Dude.
Oh, I
Yes,
can tell.
sir.
I
Oh,
can
yes,
tell
sir.
when somebody just is randomly skinny.
Yep.
I can tell.
I'll keep you guys updated.
No,
I'm
because
not-
you know why I can. No. You know why I can tell, guys? Because it is so incredibly hard for me to lose. I know what it took to lose weight, and it's the hardest freaking thing I had to do. When I went from 220 to like 190, 188, I was hungry all the time, and I was eating like 16 to 1800 calories, and I was miserable. So I know people don't have the discipline to do that.
Oh, no.
And just
Just
randomly
get a
skinny.
tapeworm. That's
I'm telling you,
easy.
this is-
Or get
Natural.
sick. Yes.
This is
All
the
natural.
magic pill. You literally are not hungry.
Logan, did you see the Ugly Stepsister?
my secret.
No, I didn't.
Do you like horror? Oh, you don't like horror movies. Never mind. Dang.
I like horror. I like
Oh,
horror. It's
okay.
games I can't do. When I have to actively walk into the room that I know
Okay.
there's a thing that's going to murder me, I have trouble pushing forward. When I'm sitting back watching it, being like, I'm just going to close.
Just
I'm good.
for what it's worth, if you like horror, check out The Ugly Stepsister. I know it's silly, but because it's a Cinderella thing. Speaking of what we just talked about, just watch it and then let's talk afterwards. I don't want to say anything else. Yeah.
Speaking of weight loss, my secret was stress and
Osborne.
emotional. It's taco. And Diego says, guess we can call him No Bacon.
I'm telling you guys.
He's going to be Canadian bacon. from
I
now
fought
on.
it for
Turkey
months and
bacon.
months and months. And
Turkey
my
bacon,
doctor's
yeah.
like, nah, you're going on this. So I was like, all right.
Oh, wow. I'll go quickly, Jose. Tonight I had 3 hot dogs, and I was going to send a picture of it to you guys in the nerd chat. What's wrong with 3? Is that too much? Really,
A lot of hot dogs.
There's more
A
calories.
lot of hot dog.
There's 3 buns to
Ballpark
go with
rate.
those.
Exactly. It's the buns that are actually way worse than the hot dogs. First one, imagine this: relish, ketchup. Okay, standard. Missing onions. I agree. Second one, ketchup, splattering of avocado mayo.
Okay.
Avocado.
What?
Yeah, isn't that the mayo?
What is that? A San
Or
Diego
olive oil
dog?
mayo. Sorry, olive oil. Or
I was
olive-
like, what are you
olive-
talking
olive
about?
Mayo. I think there is an avocado one anyway. So mayo, just mayo and ketchup. Third one, cream cheese.
Yeah.
Sriracha.
Sriracha.
Okay. This is the combo, you guys. I wish I had the diced onions and jalapenos. That would have taken it up to another notch, but of course we didn't have that. Incredible. I love hot dog night. Keep feeding the hot dogs in my mouth, Jose. Jose, what was the best food you had this week?
Best food was actually tonight. That's why I was late for the show. One of our friends, it was their birthdays, and so we went up to this place in North Denver called Hops and Pie. I have not had hops pie forever. It's super
What is
good
that?
pizza.
I don't even know what that is.
It's on Tennyson and like 38th. If you're up that far, it's close to where I used to live actually.
Is that like
but they have a sourdough starter that they use for their crust that they started in 2011. Like they've kept the strain of that alive for their dough, and it's super delicious. And yeah, that was best food. But also on last Sunday, went to my parents' house because we go to my parents every Sunday, and my mom made cheese enchiladas. And then on
Cheese
Wednesday,
enchiladas.
I went to my mother-in-law's house and she made chicken enchiladas. So I had them twice
enchiladas.
this week, which were
Enchiladas.
absolutely delightful. They're not good for bacon, so Ozempic or diet, but they were absolutely fire. So that was the best food I had this week.
Amazing. Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 255. Unhinged DLSS5 and Starfield comes to PS5. My name is Daddy Diwali. You can follow me everywhere at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast. Shout out to Jose for his based shorts as always and the amazing thumbnails. Shout out to the chat tonight. You guys were awesome. Shout out to our special guest. Jose, where can people find you?
You can find me Chipotle Bear everywhere. Huge shout out to Logan for joining us. Always appreciate his comments. And thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting our friends. A very quick Update to our fantasy critic league in case those that are following at home. In first place is Mr. Todd Oxtra with 47.12 points, but 4 released games. He's got the most released games of anyone in the game. Second place is Captain Logan. With 41 points and only 3 games released. Matt Valdez in third. I'm in fourth. And Johnson, hope that guy's okay. I haven't heard from him in a while. In fifth place. And then there's some people that have no games released as well. So like it's still anyone's game at this point. Projected winner is still Logan though. So we'll see if he actually pulls it out of second place. But he's also spent most of his money, to be fair. So we'll see if that comes back to bite him. But that's our update for Fantasy Critic as well.
And Eric's Bacon Gaming.
You can find me at my house on vacation this week doing home improvements.
You're doing floors, Bacon? Is that what that
I
was?
am.
That picture?
But the trick is, if they want to charge you $1,700 for demo, you do it yourself. Then you go buy expensive golf stuff with the $1,700 you saved.
Amen, brother.
That's the plan. At least the wife doesn't know that's the plan, but that's the plan.
Diego said, if we lose any weight and our mom will see us and say, "Está muy flaco, tienes que comer." What is that? Something about eating?
Comer is eat.
You're skinny.
You so skinny. Well, you need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
100% base Diego.
You didn't take any Spanish, man?
I knew some of it. I
took
know
German.
Muy flaco meant you need to eat. I see it now. Captain Logan, shout out from the XEP, Keelhauled. Where can people find you?
Just keep an eye out on Xbox Expansion Pass. Luke just came out with an interview recently. Yeah, so and it was really good. So if you guys are into Scott Pilgrim, famous comic, also really good movie and video games, interview with the developers for that. We're also reaching out for some games in April, which if we get the review codes, I'll hopefully be working on that. Yeah, that's not it. Outside of that, I'm still trying to work on making sure that we have the ability to get to SGF, so that games like Pragmata that we got to check out at SGF last year, we'll be able to let people know, like, hey, keep an eye on this because this game is probably going to be pretty good. So. But yeah, just keep an eye out for Captain Logan, CAPTLOGUN, anywhere on socials. If you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, make sure to leave them in the comments on this episode. I will keep up on those as well.
Very nice. Thank you, Logan. As always, Game Surge G7 Pro lovers. See you online.
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 Just because I was late, I got to go with Classic.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Oh, that's a lot better than we usually do. All right, thumbs up. Ready, guys?
Let's do this. Leroy Dragons!
You just go ahead.
Oh my god, he just ran in.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-hosts is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And as always, see you online.